Hi guys, Chamion here from Food by Chamion. I hope all is well. I am going to do a samosa from scratch for you all. Samosa, the dough have a lot of different variation from filo pastry to this pastry that this dough that I'm going to make, sorry, and the list goes on. If you don't know what samosa is, it is from the Arabian Peninsula or the Indian subcontinent. It can be served as an entree or an appetizer, a snack. Listen, it just depends, okay? I'm gonna start in this bowl. You are seeing potato, okay? White potato. I'm not gonna get into what type of potato it is because I always say for too long in Trinidad and Tobago we just knew of English or Irish potato growing up, sorry, and I have way more variation of potatoes than that. So whichever white potato you can get, potatoes you can get your hand on, by all means, please get it, peel it, dice it evenly, get it in a bowl of water, salted water. You all know my preferred prepping salt is always coarse sea salt. Sometimes I do kosher, sometimes I have Himalayan, but I always, for prepping, I always use this. I just love the coarse sea salt for prepping, okay? You see how it's diced? I already have my pot of water going. I'm just going to get it into my pan of water that I already have going. You want to cook until tender, of course. You don't ever, when you're prepping potatoes, you don't ever want to have it out of water, okay? Make sure it's in water until it's ready to cook. It's going to get discolored on you very badly. Even if it's not peeled, it's just the way it is because of the starches involved. Let me get in my coarse sea salt. Let me get in my coarse sea salt with, okay, yeah, I'm going to just get a bit of the sea salt. With the coarse sea salt, less is more, okay? It's going to cook until it's tender, like I said, because we are going to prepare it the way, to give you an idea, we are going to prepare, let me stir it with my spoon to dissolve that salt, those coarse granules. Yes, to give my fellow Trinidadians an idea of how we're going to prepare this filling for the samosa, is more or less the same way we prepare our potatoes for aloo pies. Not fry aloo, but aloo pies, okay? So I'm going to show you all each step. Of course, that's what I do. I always include you all in every aspect of a demo when I'm doing it. I'm going to call out all the seasonings, fresh seasonings, and the spices that we're going to use in here, because remember, I call which nations this is native to. And you all know from the time you heard the Indian subcontinent, you started to think with me, gram masala, cumin. That's what they do. That's what they use, okay? So you want to keep watching as I get things prepared. And let me say this also. Whenever you are doing anything that calls for a filling, you always want to get your filling prepared. It's going to help you. You always want to get your filling prepared, okay? It's going to be really good to do that. Even if you want to say, okay, maybe I have time to do it on this day and I'm going to do the stuff that I'm going to do that's requiring the filling, I'm going to do the next day, that's okay. But don't go longer than a day in the refrigerator, please. Okay? So I needed to tell you all that you all know I give tips, and I give is what I do. Okay? So I'm going to now get the dough ready. So guys, I'm going to get straight into making the dough. Before I make the dough, I want to say that sweet pea, frozen thawed sweet pea, it's added to the potato mixture filling for the samosa. I don't want you all to think samosa only contains potato filling, because it doesn't. You all hear me speak time and time again about, creativity being a major part of cooking. First we have the base, the jump off. The base with samosa will always be the pastry filling or the dough, okay? So we have three types. I call one just now for you all, which is the filo pastry, right? We have persons using also the spring roll wrapper, and then we have this dough that I'm going to use. I think a lot of persons use this dough that I'm going to make from scratch to show you guys, okay? So you want to follow. I'm going to call out the ingredients now. For those of you that are familiar with my demos by now, you all realize that I don't write in the description bar or box on YouTube on my channel, what I do is call out before I get into things. That way you can have your ingredients set up and you can just hear me without even watching, calling out, and you can just, so it's like two-person. Every time you watch a demo of my own and you are following this step, it's like having someone else with you because you are hearing the ingredients being called out, which I find makes a lot more sense. Okay? One of my supporters thanked me for doing that, and I appreciate that person seeing that I do that and I don't go the other way. Although I have had in the past numerous requests, it's since stopped for persons wanting me to write in the description box, because we have to keep in mind we try to reach everybody. I try to reach everybody. I'm going to speak for myself because I am my own person on my channel. I am not affiliated with anyone whatsoever. Okay? So we have persons that might be wanting to assess. They may not be able to read certain words. It's not bringing out anybody's facts. Even the little ones, remember we have kids, supporters and viewers, they may not be able to read these big words. They might want to surprise mommy or daddy. They might be somewhat teenage and so forth. Believe it or not, we might have visually impaired persons, okay? But they are very well skilled in their kitchen because it's their kitchen and they can move around. They might not be able to see. So sometimes when you write it, you lose persons, those that I just spoke about. I'm going to get into that. You need 2 cups of, this is the dough for this samosa. You will need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, ½ teaspoon of salt of your choice, 2 teaspoons of oil or ghee, teaspoons of oil or ghee. I'm going to use canola oil. You can use canola oil also or use ghee. If you might be wondering, Chamion, what is ghee? Ghee is clarified butter. That's all it is. Okay? And you'll also need 1 cup of water and some oil for frying, of course, once we get to filling and all of that. I am using double up recipe, so if you are thinking that's not 2 cups in there, you are correct. I am doing a double up, okay? So I'm going to sift it. Please make sure you sift your flour. I'm just using my sifter. There's this handle on it because I'm holding it in the opposite direction. It holds 5 cups and it makes my life easier. If you don't have this, use a traditional handheld strainer. And you realize, just like with pastry, because this is somewhat crunchy and flaky and nice, just like with pastry, you do not see the use or the need in calling out the recipe for any rising agents. If you are following, you already noticed that I'm not using baking powder, soda, or yeast. The water I'm going to be using, since I'm not using rising agent, it's room temperature water. I'm not using tempered water on this demo. And there we have it. Have a bit of alarm. It's nothing to be too alarmed about, but this is why you need to sift it. Yeah, that's what we have. That's what would have been in my dough had I not sifted. That's why I don't take chances. Sometimes it have no lumps when I'm sifting, and at times it's ridiculous. I'm gonna get my spatula now. Let me just put a bit of salt. I'm gonna average my salt. Don't use a pinch of salt. I will never speak and say a pinch of salt, because a pinch is different things for different persons. I would be inaccurate for me to say a pinch of salt. Even if I'm using the grinder, I always say 2 turns on the grinder. You know, those grinders for salt and peppercorns and so forth, I always say exactly how much turns, 2 turns, 3 turns. Because it's the same thing. If you turn it 3 times, it's exactly what you're going to be using. So let me get in my, remember I stable up, okay? So I'm going to get in my water in the well first. And then I am going to we say in Trinidad, I'm going to get in my oil, my measured oil. This is just my water bottle, basic water will be used. I'm going to use culinary measure instead to measure this water, just to be very accurate. This dough, even though it contains no rising agents, it requires a bit of resting time because it relaxes and it makes for better quality of dough when it rests. Okay, I'm going to use my oil. Remember which oil I'm using. You can use avocado, grapeseed, or such. Just don't use any strongly flavored oil, okay? Or even Vegetable oil, you can use that of course too. You won't believe it's this easy to make the filling for this thing, right? See how much ingredients we use? Very little ingredients, very little ingredients. But when persons use the store-bought stuff, I must say that it's very attractive looking, because you know when you use the phyllo dough, how it looks, right? So it's very attractive looking when persons use that. I'm going to leave it to rest. Remember I said that it requires resting time. Of course, I'm going to dust it with some more flour, but for now, I'm going to leave it to rest and get my my filling prepared. Okay, so at this stage, it just needs to rest for, I'll say, about 15 minutes exact. Cover it, it doesn't matter, just store it at room temperature until you are ready to use it. Of course, you're going to have all the steps, step by step, on this demo. I will not skip any step because I want you all to have the results that I'm going to have, okay? So guys, the potato is finished cooking. I mashed it using my potato masher, or some of my international friends will say smash it, but I crushed it nonetheless. And I am going to now prepare my seasoning. It's just onion and garlic. You don't want too much of things going on. I would say if you are Trini, you can put half of a Scotch bonnet pepper, a chocolate pepper, or 7 pot. But please note, if that's only if everyone that you are going to serve this can't tolerate heat, okay? If you live international and you want some heat, use some crushed chili flakes, okay? Red chili flakes. It's going to be brilliant against our potato also, those chili flakes. I'm going to now just crush up my, process in my mini processor, my onion and fresh garlic. You won't hear me when I'm running it, okay? Alright, about there in texture is where I want it, not too fine. I'm going to just get my oil down in my pan. I'm going to use canola oil to get my stuff going, okay? I don't want too little or too much, just enough. That's about. Because I have a good bit of potatoes, and keep in mind it's being fried. But there's no way to have healthy fried food. Of course, I know of technology where they have the air fryers and so forth, but you know, I'm saying that this is going to be fried the traditional way, my deep fryer. If you don't have a deep fryer, don't make that a problem. Use a pan, a deep pan, not a shallow, a deep pan that can hold enough oil safely, and you fry it in there, okay? So I don't want it to get as colored. I'm just sweating it. You guys see me do this on basically every cooking demo that I'm doing. I'm just letting this release some amazing flavors in my oil. The kitchen smells just beautiful. It's perfumed with this lovely seasoning combo that I'm using. Okay, so now I'm going to get in some masala in there. You can also put this directly in the potato too, but just let me let it get some of the flavor of my oil. So about that, I would say half teaspoon to a teaspoon, okay? Remember, this is dark, keep that in mind. If you want to know if you can use cumin, by all means, sure. Ground cumin. What is cumin? My fellow Trinidadians, we know cumin as jeera in Trinidad and Tobago. Correct term and word for it is cumin internationally, culinary term. I'm going to come right on my counter and get it in my bowl with my smashed or mashed potatoes. And just incorporate all of it and get some salt in there also. So my pan, directly onto my potatoes. You all remember how I said at the start of the demo, I'm going to prepare just the way we prepare aloo for filling for aloo pie, and you saw that. Those of you that are familiar with how these things are made, you saw that I was not kidding you all. I'm going to use some, I'm going to use sea salt from one of my grinders. Fine sea salt, because now I need this grinder really badly. So I'm going to use this, okay? I really need it for my grinder. I do have a between of an X grinder too. You guys know that. You don't want to over salt it, even though potato is somewhat stubborn, for lack of a better term, to take in sodium. If you didn't know, on previous demos I spoke on how persons use it to remove salt from certain foods like stews and so forth. Yes, it absorbs salt. Right, so you just want to gently like fold it in. You all know I always suggest that you all use these huge bowls for things like these, right? Never mind my bowl is somewhat small, but always use huge mixing bowls for preparing your stuff like these. I'm going to put in a touch of my crushed chili in there for just a bit of heat and, you know, color. I'm not finished mixing yet, but allow me to put in my chili flakes, okay? I'll say about half a teaspoon. Half of a teaspoon is just perfect in there. Right? I need to taste it to make sure the salt level is where it needs to be, because once it's fried, there is no way I can, absolutely no way I can get salt in it once it's cooked or when it's cooked, okay? I just want to do some more incorporating. I want this thing, this beautiful seasoned mixture that I made, distributed evenly in there. I just want to check for salt. I'll adjust the salt if I can. I don't really like powdered seasoning these things. I like to stay authentic when I'm doing these things, so that's why I only use salt. Just need a bit more salt, nothing much. So I will say 5 rapid turns on your grinder. 5 rapid turns. And it's now time to, for me to get the dough into form and so forth. So guys, remember I said I was going to get it into form, so watch carefully. There's a lot of technical, difficult ways in getting the samosa into the shape that it's known for locally. I want to say that shape is really just a local shape. Internationally, they don't fuss about that, okay? They don't fuss with things like doughs. Samosa, it have samosa pie, it have the baked one like I mentioned. It have a different shape, a lot of different shape of samosas, okay? Remember, in Trinidad, I'm not bringing down my country. I'm a proud citizen, but in Trinidad, we had very limited knowledge of food. So the only shape samosa you will always see is that triangle shaped one. That's not the only one. Put in samosa in a search engine and you will see how much different ways it have to do samosa, from the filling to the shape of it, okay? That's all I'll say on that. So let's just pay attention now to what I'm doing here. If you ever roll out pastry before, you want to keep it as, you know, not in the shape of a circle, as best as you can. Because you're really looking for the length of this, okay? I'm giving you all the easiest way possible because of course I know a lot of you follow me what I do and you have the same results, so I had to look for one of the easiest method. After you put in samosa in a search engine, any search engine that you use, you will realize the difficult diagrams and videos demonstrating and illustrating how to fold samosa. And even though I can do these things, I always have to sit before I do a demo or think on technique and method for you all, because it's not only about having it tasting good, but it's about presentation. Because we might have some folks right here, you might make the best tasting samosa right here in Trinidad and Tobago, and because it isn't shaped like a triangle, they're going to try to take you on somewhat for that. So I want you all to have not only proper taste, proper presentation also. Right, so I'm using my pastry tool. It's a two-sided tool. This is the frill side. This is the plain side, of course. If you have a pizza wheel, it's going to make your life easier. Please use that. Watch what I'm doing now. I'm not going to divide this whole thing into two. Okay? You want to do the same thing to your edges like these. You don't have to discard the edges. You can keep it because it can form back into a ball, and you go from there. You can, you know, reuse it if it's big ends that you are having. I'm just going to do about 2 for you all, okay? So there's 1, okay? Want to cut right through the bottom part here also. You all will pick up technique as I'm going. It's some people are visual learners, and if you are watching it, I don't really have to speak and say much because you're going to catch what I'm doing. You want to make sure it's floured properly, okay? I have to put some additional flour before I put it on top of each other. You're going to see what I'm doing. Because it you know, it acts as an adhesive and it fuses together. So you want to get a nice bit of flour on there. And that's why, you know, with the wontons wrappers and the spring roll wrappers, it's heavily floured. For those of you that ever use it, you know, to make those stuff at home, you realize how heavily floured it is. You know, it comes that way for a reason. So I just have to go further down here now. Remember how I said I was going to use it as a marker? So when you are working with things like these, you always want to use, you know, like your piece that you already cut to measure. Don't get a rule or anything to confuse your life. Use your set piece that you cut, your first piece, and go from there. I'm only going to do 2 to show you all, okay? So this is what we have so far. I'm going to just move aside the bit that I'm not going to use. This is what we have so far using the method that I showed you all, okay? It's as easy as this. Okay, so when you fold it, it's as easy as this, and you just cut off use your same tool and you remove the excess. I'm going to show you all. It's not complicated what I'm doing here. This is the easiest way. I guarantee it's the easiest way. So you see you are seeing excess. Take the same side of whichever tool you are using and remove it. Okay, so I still have it like that. I'm just going to show you all. You see the extra flap? You don't want that. It will make for pretty presentation, right? You just go like that. Remember, you have to be heavily floured so you can get the job done, okay? I'm going to now put my filling. I'm just going to get 2 down in my deep fryer. Remember, I said if you don't have a deep fryer, don't fuss with things like that. Use a pot. A deep pan. I'm seeing some of the whole cumin seeds. Cumin is, I said what it is already. I'll just say again, it's the culinary name for what we call here in Trinidad and Tobago jeera. Okay. And I told you all it has so much different fillings and methods for samosa, it isn't even funny. So you all saw technique, right? Of course you all saw. And you want to just make sure it's sealed. So you want to use that same tool or a fork. If you don't have this pastry tool, don't fuss, use a fork and just press. It's sealing it right here. Okay. enough pressure to fuse it, seal it together, okay? Already have my oil going. If you want, you can make it smaller, but after you seal it, you simply just use the plain side and you cut off that, okay? You all understood that, so I was just going to show you all, but I know you all understood. You can cut off that excess if you so desire. And cutting this depends on the size you want. You can make it smaller also. Because usually it's not as huge as that one is. Especially if you're going to serve it for the different things that I mentioned at the start of the demo. So you all saw what I did. So you want to clean up like that, okay? Make sure you clean up like that. Especially if you are going to serve it. And even if it's just for yourself and your family, please still go do it the correct way. Go the 9 yards. Don't say, well, it's just for home, because practice makes perfect. You might start making samosa only for your family and then you might get really good at it. So you want to practice doing the right thing as much as you can. So you want to keep watching. I'm gonna, show you guys the final product. I'm putting it together for you. As I saw that, believe it or not, sometimes they even use like a knife and they put lines on it, believe it or not, internationally. In the shape of the triangle, and it's exposed. It's a really pretty presentation. I'm just covering that with you, alright? So keep watching as I bring it together, guys. So guys, the samosa is finished frying. I want you all to see the bubbles, the air pockets that you are seeing there. It's beautiful. The color, everything is beautiful. Look at the shape that we have. Using very simple fork. I'm just going to use a basic knife to cut into it. Okay? I'm going to cut it on my board, at my board right here. Look at that. That's why they use the phyllo pastry a lot of times internationally, and the wonton, the spring roll wrapper. You heard that crunch, right? It's flaky, it's layer in, tongue twister there, and it's gorgeous. It's not thick, you all see, it's literally like just a shell. This is how the wontons and spring roll shell will be. Phyllo pastry, it's known for being very airy, light and nice. Look at that, you all seen it? It's brilliant beyond words. I made some homemade pepper sauce specially for this. Usually they use tamarind sauce, sweet sauce and things like that for it. I have some, I'm gonna get my sauce on my plate. It's in my rimkin, and some very rare, I use tomato ketchup whenever I do a demo, but I have ketchup. Okay. Let me just bring back my samosa front and center. And I realized that they make it triangle for easy frying and so forth, and even for, dipping or dunking their stuff. Guys, a pleasure. It was my own. If you don't know Food by Chamion, we are all over social media. We have an Instagram account, public Instagram account, public Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel, all under one name, Food by Chamion. I have a board on Pinterest. That board is Food by Chamion, the name of that board. I have an email address, foodbychamion@gmail.com. Use all common letters. I have a website, www.foodbychamion.com. Guys, I thank you all for all your amazing love, support, and positivity. Until I'm with you all, thanks for watching, and bye.